Hey everyone. So this map is Cockmock or Cosmos. I don't really know which one. Geometry Dash people probably do. But I use Bloon Trap with Dan and Permaspike, and it's interesting enough. I probably won't talk about the run too much during the video, so I'm just going to tell you that Dan stalls like everything. It's kind of insane. Like every single BFB he stalls. He's really good mid-game. He's kind of weak early game, and his alternate surprisingly more damaging form is actually just worse, in my opinion. I know that they were going to talk about buffing him potentially maybe next update, because they wanted to release him in a weaker state, so he's not like pay to win, which is also kind of a crazy thing, because he was pay to win, but you know. It was like 2 weeks, it's fine. It's for a contract, as long as it's not like a pattern. But yeah, so I just do Bloon Trap and P-Spike. P-Spike is just to save up for Bloon Trap, and to just kind of clean up everything that gets by. And, you know, it does its job, obviously. And then with Bloon Trap, I just kind of micro it around. And with Dan in the stall and an overclock in the Bloon Trap, I just get a lot of damage off. Or not a lot of damage. I just clean up entire rounds with it. And it's funny to see. And you'll see it. Like 98, I take out every single ZOMG. So it's funny. The gameplay doesn't really matter, though. It's just background gameplay. But it's funny enough and cool enough not to be boring, hopefully. To the main point, World Cup 2026. Group stage was honestly kind of lame. Like, shocker, the best teams usually won or tied. And there wasn't really that many insane upsets like previous years. I wrote a little something a little bit ago, and I still think it's true. But US football is just... they're just still bad. Like, there's been too much glaze for how many problems I still see from them. Like, on attack, the ball is just glued to their feet, and they just can't get rid of it. Like, they can't really cross. The ball just seems to get trapped in the corners a lot. So, that's, like, unfortunate. And then the passes, it feels like they're way too quick. Like, they're not even trying to control it, they're just trying to get it out from under them. Because if it's on them and then they lose it, somehow it's their fault. Well, it is their fault. But, like, they could take, like, another second. All the passes feel like it's just been, like, a 70% chance that their team gets it. But then a 30% chance that the opponent gets it. And it's just dumb. And you know, the first touch is just terrible consistently throughout. But yeah, you know, same mistakes for the past 12 years. We don't learn. You know, shocker. Not that much improvement. You just got into a worse group and then did a little bit better. So, and also the defense is pretty bad too. Like, it's just too centralized. Like, they have 5 people in the center and then no one on the wing, so they're just leaving the wings wide open. And obviously someone's going to attack from there. And, you know, shocker, people did attack from there. And we see it happen. And then, you know, they get a goal from it. So it's still disappointing to see. You know, slightly improved, but still disappointing. But I guess they're better than Germany now. Because Germany just lost to Paraguay. Which is ridiculous. But also, by the way, this was made right after that game. So, I don't know the outcome of the next two. But, yeah. So that should be interesting. Okay, next. Argentina. Still the GOAT for me. They still look phenomenal. Lautaro Martinez looks great out there. And even in his most recent game with Messi, for the first bit, they look great. Lautaro, he just needs to get onside more. It's insane. 4 times in that last game, he was almost offside. And it's like, come on, just like... they just keep getting him with, like... I don't even think they're trying to offside trap him. It's just... he just keeps, like, wandering. So, you know, he's been playing well. But that's, like, my only note for him. He's, like, my second favorite player on that team. Besides Messi, obviously. Speaking of Messi, Messi's hat trick was cool to see. Big fan of that. Yeah, I don't know. It was cool to see. Cool that he got it. But it wasn't against the best team. And there was a penalty in there. I'm kind of biased towards, like, counting penalties as goals. Because it's just... they feel like way too easy. And, you know, potentially the argument's like, oh, well, the goal-scoring opportunity was taken away. That's why it's a penalty. But like, I don't know. It's I don't know. I don't know how I feel about it. Uh, Also, I should say I'm heavily biased towards Argentina, and I've just wanted them to win for like the past 4 World Cups. So there's that. But they look great, and I'm excited to see how they do. They looked great during the Copa America 2 years ago, also. So if they pull off a similar performance, I'm excited because they played really well in that one. The one other thing is they just need to do less useless fouls. Like I get it's South American football, and that's what we'll see. Obviously, because like, oh wow, they foul a lot and then they dive a lot. But if we're up like 3-1, 4-1, whatever we are, we don't need to be doing like dumb midfield tackles that get us yellow cards or fouls. I think that's stupid. But that's just a little gripe, and honestly, hopefully it doesn't bite us too hard. So yeah, overall, Argentina, top 2 team that I think is gonna win. I mean, number 1 for me, but objectively, top 2. France is still France. They still look powerful as ever, and I still hope that they lose every single game that they play. But, of course, they're obviously not. It's France. They're arguably the best team. Not much to say there, besides Norway's B team scoring on them, which was a shocker, because Norway's B team just looks so funny out there. It's just like no coordination at all. But, I'm excited and nervous to see what they do. But also like one goal can slip through, obviously. Germany, I don't even know what to say for Germany. I thought they were going to be so much better than they were. Ever since they won the 2014 World Cup against Argentina, and how well they did that one tournament, especially the one game. It's felt like they've just gone downhill. And 2018, I was excited to see them eliminated early, but I really wanted to see them go far and get eliminated versus like a stronger team. Or ideally, Argentina gets their revenge against them and wins. But, to lose to Paraguay is just shocking. And I was sort of rooting for Paraguay because I thought it would be funny for them to win. But, I mean, what an upset. And also, that's kind of what I love about the World Cup. In, like, every single statistic, Germany dominates Paraguay there. And most people say Germany wins that game. Like, objectively. But, Paraguay gets the first one. And that's a shocker. Germany obviously locks in for the second half and the rest of the game. But, I mean, Paraguay was just relentless and doesn't give up. And then they just keep fighting over and over. And I was, like, on the edge of my seat. Just every single goal. And then the one goal that got called back. I mean, obviously, a foul on the goalkeeper. No question about it. But also like that, it's like, okay, they can clearly get a goal. Well, maybe not because they fouled the keeper. But, they just have to do it again. And, they try and try and try, but Paraguay is just like defending very well. And then more fouls start happening and pressure starts ramping. Yellows are flying out. To everyone, like even the coaches are getting yellow. I think both coaches got a yellow, or 2 coaches from the same team got a yellow. I don't remember which one, but there was 2 yellows for coaches. And then somehow, against all logic, Paraguay is like it doesn't even like make sense. Like the longer the game goes on, you kind of just keep thinking like, oh, Paraguay's actually gonna win this. They're gonna get to penalties and then they're gonna win this somehow. Which is just an insane thought because Germany has been statistically a better team. And then so they finally get to penalties. Germany misses the first one, and that's like the end. That's kind of like the beginning of the end, and it's like, all right, we're done, It's kind of over. And then Germany misses that second one, and it's like, oh, so, we've won. And then Paraguay somehow misses 2 in a row. And it's like, okay, they kind of deserve to lose after that, You can't choke 2 in a row. And there's still hope for Germany. But then they miss their next one. And at that point, who cares? It's just over. You miss 3, you miss that first one. It's kind of over. And it was surprising, but at the same time, as the game went on, it wasn't that surprising. But, beautiful game from both teams. I think both did well, and I think that was probably the best game so far. Brazil is somehow both exceeding and not meeting expectations. Like, it was kind of obvious they were going to win against Japan because Japan as an underdog has just not been too good. But I also still, like, I expected Brazil to win, but both of them playing their best, I think Brazil wins. Both of them playing their worst, Brazil still wins. But I feel like both teams are just so 50-50 now if they're going to play good or not. So, and Brazil just feels less coordinated than like every other big team out there. It's like almost as bad as Italy, but they have like better players and a little bit more chemistry, so they don't just not make the cup. Also, but like, what is Neymar doing there? You know, he's just on the bench taking up spots. He's like openly criticize the team and talk about how bad the team has become. And it's just a whole mess there. But somehow they gambled and won against Japan today. We'll see how they do in the next one. But like I said earlier, Japan is also just a letdown this year. I felt like they were also way better last World Cup, but other people were saying that they were way better this World Cup. I don't really see it. I feel like they had not as hard of a group this World Cup and played worse. And then they also faced harder teams last time. So it's a little disappointing to see them lose there. Like, maybe they go on like 1 or 2 more games. And there's kind of like the whole joke where it's like, oh yeah, you know, they have blue lock. And that's kind of why I wanted to see them go like 1 or 2 games. So you can kind of like make that joke and be like, oh wow, they beat these good teams and or something like that. But it was kind of just disappointing this year. So it's a lame joke, but still, you know, whatever. A lot of the underdog teams have also been doing surprisingly well. Like, I wish Cabo Verde's next match wasn't against Argentina, because I would have loved to see them win another game or like tie it and then win in penalties, because they just haven't lost one. But I swear, if Argentina gets to penalties, it's going to be a bad week for me mentally. Spain is also another letdown this year. I think, you know, they haven't like lost. They're not out of it yet, but they got to lock in these next couple games. They should be way better than they are right there. And there's like a lot of teams that I feel like that are on this level, like England, Norway, and Netherlands, where it feels like they're going to be a hard match, but I don't have too high hopes for any of them. Like, somehow I feel like some of them are going to lose. England winning would be nice. I feel like they deserve it, especially because the Premier League should be the best, or I think is the best league in the world. It's just statistically the most difficult. But also, England is nerfed because like every good English player suddenly decides that their parents' roots matter more and stuff. Like, Erling Haaland was born like right outside of Manchester, I think. So, you know, it's not like he's not an English citizen. He'd just rather play for Norway. And Norway's not that bad of a team this year, at least. So we'll see how they do. I don't know. Exciting all around. Anyways, that's kind of the World Cup section over. As we can see, XXL Trap is doing surprisingly well. Who would have seen that coming? It's impressive, you know, but it's kind of the perfect map and perfect hero for him. So we'll take that. May release more of these later on in the tournament, depending on how the World Cup is going. Like, if these next 4 teams tie and then go to penalties and it's dumb, we'll see. If you think I'm wrong about some of these takes or opinions also, feel free to argue in the comments with me. It's not like engagement baiting. Well, it is inherently engagement baiting, but I actually want to argue and I want to see some of these opinions, because I'd probably end up agreeing with half of what people say, and I'll just naturally come to that conclusion and agree with you. And then like half of the other ones, I'll just be fully stubborn and won't agree with you. So that should be fun to argue either way. But, you know, at the end of the day, World Cup is a beautiful celebration of football that excites and unites the entire world in a beautiful 90-minute game. Good luck to your team, and have a great World Cup. Thank you.